The real test, what it takes to be in the band, is you're here every day, Monday through Friday, and then we have a game really every weekend.
We are all constantly working together at rehearsal on game day. It's not just an individual thing that you're doing all the time.
My name is Gwen Moore. I am a sophomore music education major here at Virginia Tech, and I serve as drum major of the Marching Virginians.
My name is Paige Barnhart. I'm a senior in the MVs. I'm also the executive officer of the Marching Virginians. I'm a computational modeling and data analytics major.
I'm Brandon Berger. I'm a senior industrial and systems engineer, and I'm the rank captain of rank 27, which is a trumpet rank.
My name is Riley Van Dyke. I am a senior this year in marketing management, and this is my third year as the section leader of the Marching Virginians Color Guard. I think the question I get asked the most is, oh, what instrument do you play? And then I go, oh, I'm in the Guard. And then they're like, what is that? And then I have to go, oh, we're the flags. And they're like, oh, that's so cool. And that's kind of the extent of it. They just think it's cool that you're in the band. They don't tend to take the extra step of, oh, you get to be down on the field and perform in front of the entire stadium.
I didn't really know anything about it until I was like, well, this is gonna be kind of my life, so let me go ahead and, get acquainted with it. I was like, oh my, this is so cool. They get front row seats. It was a bit of a shock, and it's very different from what I experienced in high school, but I'm very happy that I decided to just be like, well, let me keep rolling with marching band. Let me just keep doing it in college. What's the worst that could happen? I'll get friends, I guess. I think the real test of what it takes to be in the band is you're here every day. You know what I mean? You are here Monday through Friday, and then we have a game usually every weekend, and that's your whole day.
We spend 12 hours a week together every single day, Monday through Saturday. We're always rehearsing, even when it's cold and windy. We are all constantly working together at rehearsal on game day. It's not just an individual thing that you're doing all the time.
Seeing just such an enormous program of people who are also talented just come together and make so many amazing products, but also in just such a short amount of time, and just seeing what we're able to do, I think is really awesome. I feel a lot of pride for that, and I think that it's one of the first things I say when I meet people.
The reason I keep doing it is because I love doing this. I love coming here and learning each show and interacting with my friends. When my friends were coming from my high school and I was telling them to do marching band, I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it is a lot of work. To me, it's worth it. I love going to football games. I love playing my instrument. It's this community that I am accepted in, I'm good at, and everything you invest into it, you kind of get back. And you don't really find that a whole lot in life. To me, it really is, it takes a lot out of you, but everything you put in, I feel like you get back.
So during game day, Guard leadership tends to try to get here pretty early. We start by checking everybody's bags, making sure they have their lanyards, their jackets, their sweatpants, every part of their uniform. We go out to the practice field. So we'll run through all of the different songs that we're doing for that show.
We'll get there an hour beforehand. Usually we'll try to get here just so I have my bearings, make sure I didn't forget anything, because if you forgot something, then game day traffic, you have to,
We all get on the field, we start doing warm-ups. Usually when you get here, there's people on the field playing football or playing racky sack with their feet. The horns love doing that, and the tubas and the trumpets love playing soccer and football.
After that, maybe I'll play a little football with the trumpets. Football's pretty big in the trumpet section.
So it's good to see everyone just getting excited on game day.
We play music before rehearsal to get everybody ready. We walk around and make sure everybody's all hype and everything. We do whatever we need to do and just kind of help out Paige and the directors and whatever they need. And then we have rehearsals.
And then as the band starts to practice, we'll start to play with them a little bit. Then we all join together with the band to run drill.
We get started, we warm up, we do some stretches, kind of make sure everybody's ready. And then we run through some music usually, a little bit of drill, trying to not play too much.
Polly will have us run through the show. We'll run through some of the stand cheers, brush up on some stuff. It's mostly just a cleaning day.
We basically just start going through all of the stuff that we have to get ready for that day. We go do game day scenarios, so we play songs that we play during the stands, during all the first, second, third downs and stuff.
Making sure is the show ready for the day? Usually it is because, you know, we're a great marching band.
And then we break for lunch or dinner, and then we get ready together and get all dressed up in our uniforms. And then we go out to the field and we do another short, quick warm up to get ready. We do our motorcycles tradition, which is a favorite.
Then we do like 2 hours before kickoff for the game. We leave from the MVC and we do like a march to victory is what we like to call it. It's like a parade for us. All the fans like line up on both sides of the parking lot and we get to high five them as we're running by and we're all just getting super excited for game day.
For me, it helps me get in the mindset of game day. Everybody is in their uniform, we're marching down, everybody is cheering for you on the sidelines. The entire band, 350 people, is moving to the same cadence with the same step size, the same spacing. So it really helps you feel unified with the band.
You know, everyone's got different ideas, I feel like, about what the main thing that we do is. We're called the Spirit of Tech. So in my opinion, you know, it's the spirit part that really is like the ultimate like goal, right? And the March to Victory is like the perfect encapsulation of that, you know, like we're marching through like all of the fans and stuff. We're getting everyone hyped up, we're high-fiving, you know, everyone. Feels like we are contributing in a positive way to get the fans still excited for the game, which is our job, right? You know, it's like so cool that people are so excited to see us and to see us perform. Everyone's going ballistic. Who cares if the team is like 0-6 or we're 6-0? You know, it's the same thing regardless. You know, that ability to be the spirit of tech and to get the fans engaged, and you know, it just gets me fired up. You know, even more. You know, we've already got entertainment to do and all the playing and stuff, but I think that's just kind of the tone setter for me before I watch our wonderful Hokies football team.
When we leave our stands, there's a Hokie bird named Stack, and he's like super important to all of us because he passed away in the shootings on campus in 2007.
Stack was a member of the MVs, and he was a baritone player, and he was one of the 32 students who was killed in the shooting. And we really honor him in his service to the band and the energy that he brought. I mean, he is talked about every year. He is talked about by former directors. His mother is still associated with the MVs. She comes to games if she can. She stays in touch, really. And so there's a lot of things that we do to really honor his memory. And that is one of the biggest things that we do. That statue was donated here. It's just a really great way to honor a former MV who was killed in that shooting. And every time that we leave for the March to Victory, for good luck, everybody taps on Stack, kind of in his honor.
And so we all pat the Hokie bird on the back as we're going to game day. And that's honestly like one of my favorite parts of March to Victory because we all just like come together, especially when his mom is here. Like she loves the band.
The keys are like probably my favorite MV tradition for sure. Every defensive third down is what's called a key play. Like on the screens, they do key play and make noise and whatever. We don't even play on those downs. And the keys are supposed to like make it super loud if everyone's jangling their keys and mess up the offense, hopefully. And the keys are a thing that the MVs do, that everybody has their keys and nobody has to bring their car keys when that happens because everyone's supposed to jangle their keys. And it's also just become such a great tradition of the accumulation of your time in the MVs and something to look back on. So everybody, when their first year, gets a carabiner that says MVs for life, and then gets 2 keys. They get a general Marching Virginians key, and then they get the key from that year. So they design a key that says 2025 or whatever it is. Over your time, you get a new key every year. So that's at least 1 guaranteed. And then leadership gets keys. Everybody got a key for how much we brought in for Hokies for the Hungry. And then people just add things. So their ranks might make a new key or something, a memory. I know that Mitch, the other drum major, he has his Metallica like bracelet on his keychain and just really cool things. And so when you graduate, you have this really full keychain that is a memory of like every year and being all the things that you did and all of your accomplishments. And I just think it's a really cool tradition.
Oh, on game days, I love when we take our rank pictures. And so each rank has about like 7 or 8 people. We usually do fun little like poses that each rank like has. For us, it's called a rank stack. So our rank captain will be on the bottom, and then seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen will all just pile on top of each other and take this massive photo. And it's just really fun because we like are trying to get everyone's hair to look good and everyone's feet and arms to like be in the right spot. And it's just really funny.
And then you get into the stadium and it's really a feeling like no other, like being able to walk out onto the field and just hear everybody cheering for you as you walk in.
We're usually one of the first people there. We get there like 80, 90 minutes before the game starts, so that we get to play a bunch of our longer tunes. People get to hear us as they're coming in and finding their seats.
It is so immensely different than when you practice it. You know, you practice it and you're used to the field and the conditions and what it feels like. And I think that like you're in a completely different place, literally, and mentally. And I think that the first time, like you're just so jittery, like there's just so many overwhelming factors going on that it is kind of difficult to ground yourself and remember what you're doing. But at the same time, it is so empowering to just look up and just see like more of an audience than I've ever had in my entire life and probably ever will. And I think that that is so, it was just so exciting. And just really like so much fun, and hearing the crowd reactions to any show really is just like one of the best parts. I mean, Lane Stadium is awesome and it's super electric. I think that it makes it so much better, more fun of an experience.
Especially like hearing Enter Sandman from the field. Like doing Enter Sandman in the stands and you're jumping, it's like one feeling. But when you're on the field and you just hear the echo and you see the fireworks and the team's just like running out in front of you, like it's unmatched. I don't know how many videos I have on my phone of us doing it, especially for the parachute people who landed this game. That was awesome too, with the Virginia Tech flag and the American flag. That was really, really cool. The first time I ever did the tunnel and stuff on the field for pregame, when I was a freshman, I thought I was gonna pass out. I can't even put it to words other than electric. It's just such a great feeling to see like everybody there and see the stadium so full.
You kind of get used to it that the longer you go on, but you know, like when I coming in as a freshman, it was completely surreal, you know, because I'd been to Tech games before. I'd, you know, like Enter Sandman, I'd like been there and done that before. But you know, like being there and like literally no matter what, you know, like I said, the team can be undefeated or have never won a game, and no matter what, like the stadium is packed, the student section is there, and it's like, again, we are like such a driving force behind like the energy. Watching the students pick up on that, like, again, it's like it's completely surreal. And honestly, it's become more fun and novel for me, like when the new people come in and like watching the freshmen and like the sophomores even in awe of like what's going on, you know, because it's just like, how did I get here? The feeling that if you sit down and think about it, you're like, this is like completely nuts. Eventually you kind of just are like, yeah, like this is what I'm doing. All the extra stuff we do, that's kind of like a passed down thing. Being in leadership now and being an upperclassman now, it's like, you know, Polly and Chad, they always, you know, they're like, that extra stuff, that comes from you guys, you know what I mean? Like we can tell you to have fun, but we can't make you have fun. You know, that kind of has to come from the older people, you know. In between series, you can freaking limbo or whatever, or we're all doing this goofy dance, but if you're not doing it, you're the goofy one. I turn off my brain when I get in there. I'm just like, I'm in having fun, Marching Virginian mode.
We're like the biggest representations of the school in that moment. We are the center of attention down on the field in front of 66,000 people. Everybody is watching you, everybody is cheering. Most of the time they know the music that we're playing, so they're very focused on what we're doing. And then especially once you hit the very end, because we always end with our fight song, Tech Triumph. Once you get to that last note and you're like, wow, all of the work that we've been putting in the past few weeks really came together to make this incredible show. And it's admiration for the team, it's pride for how well people did and how hard we've all been working, and it's truly just a sense of family. Like we're all one very connected group that just worked together for hours to put together this show.
But like when you have your family, right, it's like, you know, you don't necessarily like boil your family down to what you get out of it, because like that's just my family. That's just like I spend time with these people. It's just how it is. That's kind of what it's like being MVs, right? It's like this ensemble has given me so much that it's almost like pointless to even like bring it up, because it's like I wouldn't have this, I wouldn't have this, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet this person or have this experience. It's this family, this 330-person family that brought it all together and allowed me to have this fun and to experience this this thing. And again, like that's why I don't like think about it too much, because I'm like I'm gonna work myself up and get emotional. But it's like, again, how did I get here? I'm a senior now. Like I've done this for 4 years. I'll like randomly remember this like upperclassman from when I was a sophomore and be like, remember when we used to like pile into his hatchback and go to D2? And then we'd all be like, yeah, that was awesome. Like it wasn't that awesome, but it was just like, it was cool. It was like, I don't know, you're just hanging out, and you're just hanging out like with your family. You don't even think about it.
We all just come together because we love band, and it's just a huge 400-person family, if you can even imagine that. Having just had my last March to Victory, I feel like I'm gonna miss it a lot. Now that I'm thinking about it and it's already happened, like I'm getting kind of emotional right now. It's just such a huge part of it. Just all of those memories from all of my past March to Victories, it just makes it really bittersweet. And I know I'm gonna miss it when I am gone. It's
like during these like final moments, you kind of get a lot of final moments like your senior year, and I always think like, it's funny because I get emotional about stuff before it happens and not emotional when it happens, and I get emotional after it happens, you know what I mean? Like when I'm in the moment, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm gonna shed some tears or whatever. It's like my last pregame, this is my last like March to Victory. And then I'm just too like locked in on like doing it that it doesn't really process until I'm like, wow, like that was it. But I don't know, I was extra fired up for this game because I'm like, oh, it's my last one. I made sure we put all the seniors on the outside because, people on the outside of the block are the ones who go to the high fives. I was going extra far to give the high fives that game, I think just because we were so like psyched up, and it's like, we might as well. It's just an unforgettable experience. This year, we added a couple more like cheers and chants that we do, and like one of them, I'd be like, hey yo, where my dogs at? And then they all bark, but then Travis was like, what if we said, hey yo, where my Hokies at? And then everyone gobbled, which is like way better, because I'm like, it's like silly, which is like, I feel like we do the hokey pokey, you know what I mean? So a part of being in the marching band here is being able to have fun and being able to be silly.
Ever since I like joined the MVs as a freshman, like my section has been like super welcoming ever since. I've made like some of my best friends. I honestly don't think I would have stuck with the MVs if I didn't have like such a big like community feeling and like the support from also Polly and Chad. They make the MVs like so strong and such a powerful part of game day, and I don't think we would be as good as we are without them. And so just having your section, having your friends, and then having the like just good directors, people who want to be here every day, is just a huge part of it.
It's a very special experience to be a part of the Marching Virginians. My parents actually met in the band in the 80s. My mom was in color guard and my dad was in drumline. So I've been coming up to games specifically to see the MVs pretty much since I was born. So it's a very special experience to be able to, leave my own mark on the band and really make it my own experience.
I mean, even when I watched my brother go through it, like spirit was like the #1 thing. Like we are the most excited to be there, no matter what is going on in a game setting, whether it's the March to Victory or in the stands or in any of our events. We are always like, I think the spirit of tech, if you will. I think that respecting each other and being able to work together as a community and thrive together, as well as like understand the kind of hierarchies in the band and respect our leadership and respect sections and what everybody does, I think creates a really, really great community. And then service is the really big thing that we do. We do a lot of service projects that are really outward facing, and I think that that's awesome. The Hokies for the Hungry. And then I think just kind of the service within the band, particularly as drum major, trying to think of what can I do to serve the band, what can I do to serve the fellow leadership, the directors, anything. And I think that that's really been something that I've been really focused on this year. It's just really awesome to see what every section does. Just all of the little like good luck charms that sections have. One of my favorite parts of being drum major, just in general, is seeing all of these little sectional things, and not just my own section, but getting to see and create these things and these new traditions that have been passed down by so many people. And I think that that really builds the community of the sections, and then the traditions that we have really build the community of the band, and I think that that's really cool.
The thing about playing an instrument, which is so funny, I think about this all the time, is like, one of the most impactful decisions I've ever made in my life was when I was like 11 in like elementary school deciding to play the trumpet. You know what I mean? Like, if I didn't make that decision when I was 11, here I am, I'm about to be 22, you know, doing all this. So it's wild. It's really wild.
Half your life.
Yes. Half my life playing the trumpet. So, yeah, go figure.